A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers, on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and on the free Odyssey app.
High noon, baby. Let's go. This is the Mason Crosby Show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. My name's Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. He's Mason. Tommy Wirtz is here as well. Good day, Mr. Crosby.
Good day, good day. Do y'all ever feel bad that Pat McAfee has to share this time slot with us? I mean, I was just thinking about that. I was like, I just feel bad for them. Yeah, I feel bad for them.
Like
they have to share our time here.
Is he in Pittsburgh today?
He's in Pittsburgh, not Pittsburgh. Yeah,
okay.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
It looks like a big Pitt game. I didn't know they were still playing football. Oh, yeah, okay. Notre Dame's there.
Well,
right.
I don't know if you heard this, Mason. The SEC is mad because they've got Oklahoma, Alabama, and they've got Georgia, Texas, and ESPN decided to go to Notre Dame.
Where do you think the money is? Yeah, where's that money coming from? There it is, deep pockets over there at Notre Dame. Well, hey, we got a great show lined up, right?
For sure.
Right, fellas? We got Tommy Lugauer coming to join the show from WFAN in New York. We're going to get that eye on the enemy. Mikey Henniger got pushed to 1 o'clock, so get your fantasy football questions ready for him because he's been crushing it. He's been helping me out every week, so really appreciate his insight. And we're gonna preview this Packers versus Giants game.
We sure are.
I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just a little nervous.
I don't like that, mates. I don't want you nervous. I want you excited. I want you fired up. But I feel like we're all a little nervous right now. Like we don't feel like we're in a good place right now.
Well, yeah, and Jeff Hafley though came out and said that LaFleur is one of the best head coaches and play callers that he's ever been around. So at least we have that. And here's the thing with LaFleur. I want to just get this out there. Like I don't think he's a bad play caller. Like I think he is a really good play creator and developer and has a good scheme. And I do think he is a good head coach at how he lays things out and like how he runs a program and things like that. It's just some of those moments, right? Where it gets it feels just a little scattered in the moment and not executing at a high level when that time is called on.
Do you think there's something to he's a little too not comfortable in terms of his job, but comfortable in terms of the plays he likes to call? Where he's got this huge sheet of 40, 50 plays plus, and but he keeps going back to the same 6 or 7 or the same setup or the same whatever it might be. He has the imagination, he has the creativity, but he's kind of stuck in a funk that he needs to bust out of somehow.
I've been thinking about it these last few weeks, and my thought is that he wants it to look like it's an image conscious thing. It's almost like ever since he's become the head coach, he's even gotten in a sense, image conscious, how he looks right on the sideline. It's groomed, all the stuff, always really put together. This image is really important. And I think some of that plays out in the calls and how he wants to run this team and run this offense. And it's it needs to look a certain way and be a certain way instead of it just being this is the necessary play that needs to be called in this moment, instead of trying to will it to happen through, again, what your plan is or how you've designed a play. So some of that stuff, I think there's a contradiction there. And I think that's where he struggles is here's the right play or the good play. We always talked about that there in Green Bay. It was Aaron was just don't give me the perfect play. Right. Give me the give me the play that I can either adjust or I can go out there and execute at a high level. I'd rather him put a play out there that they're going to do extremely well and make someone stop it instead of a trick play or a play that's so well designed that everything has to go right for it to execute and be done properly. So I think there's a struggle up there right now with looking a certain way and not just being kind of gritty and grindy and going out there and making people stop you.
This is the Mason Crosby Show. We are presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Find us on the NCAA Law Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Do you think Matt LaFleur is trying to be too perfect? Some people might say, do you think he's trying to be too cute? I know we all know the famous saying, like, perfect is the enemy of good, or perfect is the enemy of progress, or whatever that might be. Do you see a distinction between like perfect and cute? Like, is there like is he trying to be too perfect, or is he trying to be too cute? Is that the same thing, or is there a difference there?
Yeah, there's a big difference. I don't think I don't think they're trying to be perfect. I do think they're trying to be a little too, again, my mind goes right to like image conscious. Like, you want to look a certain way, want your offense to like come across a certain way. And like for him, it's almost more like come across as unpredictable. Right. Where it's like, we're going to throw so many different formations, so many different things at you. And now you have these young players, you have a lot of injuries, a lot of different things. You have to bring that thing way back. Right.
Yep.
Like you can't have guys lining up wrong. You can't have like Bo Meltons or guys that aren't playing a lot of offense going out on the field and not doing their job at a high level. So for me, it's like, dumb it down, just go back to the basics. If you can't run the ball against the New York Giants, I know they have a good front, but if Josh Jacobs, if we can't get this run game going, I feel like it's just like abandon the run. Just go with Jordan Love.
Just put it in Jordan Love's hands.
He wants to be a run team.
Okay. So does that mean you want Jordan Love to just be a thrower, or you want Jordan Love to make the calls from the field, where run the ball when it makes sense, but don't force the run from the sideline? Or do you just want Jordan Love to sling the ball all over the place?
That's where I think some tempo is really important. And we've talked about that a lot. And it's, again, tempo does not mean hurry up. It just means keeping the same personnel group. You're going a little more no huddle, maybe doing little like muddle huddles in a sense, where you just kind of get everybody on the same page and break out. Yeah. And then let Jordan Love kind of curate a drive every once in a while. Right. I mean, he is good. Like, they've been good in like 2-minute must-have drives. Like,
it seems
whenever
like
they've gotten scored on and kind of gone down, like Jordan Love's done a great job where he's, just managed going and scoring fast and moving the ball. So I think mixing some of that in early and often, get a lead, because that's been a while, right? Since like they had huge success early in the season when they got a lead. Yep. And then let the defense just cut loose.
Right. Because then the defense can just eat. Right.
Yeah. So now we've been playing these little like back and forth games, and it's just not, it doesn't feel the same. This team is built to get a lead and then let that defense just go after the quarterback.
414-677-1250 is the NCAA Law Talk and Text line. 414 writes in, good afternoon, guys. That's my idea. Come out in the 2-minute drive, get that tempo established, hopefully get some quick points, and you're off to do what you do. And I blankin' love the show.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. I love everybody who blankin' loves the show, as you should. We've got Ken in the Falls joining us now. Ken, welcome to the Mason Crosby Show.
Eminem. I love it.
Eminem.
Wow.
Right. Mitch and Mason. Yeah. Tommy.
There you go.
Tommy, we got to find, you got an M in there.
Yeah.
Tomas. Should I turn your mic on? Oh, Tomas, you good?
I'm good. Okay. I have 2 M's in my name. Thanks.
Wow. Oh, excuse me.
There you go.
What you got for us, Ken? What do you got for us?
Well, do you guys remember way back before the start of the season when you're like, tell us the one player that you're looking for this year to really stand out for you? And then do you remember what my answer was?
Nope.
It had nothing to do with the player. I said this is a make or break year for LaFleur. If LaFleur can't get his act together, Ed policy will have nothing to do with him going forward. He'll more than likely flush Goody, and he's going to bring in his own people. And I can easily see that happening, because right now this offense establishes no rhythm the last few games. They look very plain Jane, very, I hate to say it, but let's face it, and you would know this, Mason, this is nothing more than mimicking Shanahan's 49er team. Everything that LaFleur does, it mimics his buddies in San Fran, and I hate it. That offense is stale. It's predictable. It is no good. And if he doesn't get this figured out starting this week, him and his skateboard, his Tony Hawk shorts and his clean cut hair and everything, they're going down the road. I can already see it.
Man,
Dang.
Tell us what you
fire,
think, Ken. Ken, thanks for the call, man.
Yeah, appreciate you, Ken.
That's awesome. Ken, Ken's on one, Mace.
Hit him hard on a Friday. Yeah, I mean, there's something that I want, and you know me, I'm a positive guy by nature. So I was looking back, and it was 2023 season. And what were they around this time? They started off like 2-5.
Yeah, they weren't good. They were not good.
Everybody was just like, yeah, I'm sure I wasn't in the media at that point, but I'm sure everyone was, this LaFleur, if he can't do it with Love, it was all Aaron, all the stuff. Yep. Get him out of here, right? Like
Love stinks and LaFleur can't do it without Aaron. Yep.
And then they ran it off, and then they were the first 7 seed to win a playoff game, right? So I will say, take a breath. We're 5-3-1. Like they have everything in front of them. 5 of their last 7 games are against division opponents. Like it is going to be a tough stretch.
And the other 2 against Denver and Baltimore.
You have a defense that is elite. Like figure it out. Figure out a way to score 17 points, 20 points a game, and you will have a winning record at the very least. Like this team is going to the playoffs. Like I have no doubt that this team will make the playoffs. But
Tommy, write it down in Sharpie.
Hey, I mean, I got to stick with it. I'm not going to just like jump off that line. They should. Okay, I have faith. I know they will, but like they should make the playoffs.
Yeah.
That will be bad if they don't make the playoffs, and then all those questions will be all over it come February. January, February. If they're not in the playoffs. It's going to be a rough offseason up there at 1265.
Why are you looking back at 2023 when I think maybe one of the best lines you have said since being in the media was stop comparing seasons this week?
I'm just Friday.
Wow. I'm ready to go. Like I think that I'm good line.
Comparing it. No, see, I was bringing an example of like let's just take a chill pill, and say that like that was 2-5. We're like frustrated at 5-3-1.
Sure.
Like take a chill pill. Like this team can get it figured out. Like the
2023 team could figure it out. Can the 2025 team figure it out? It's still up for grabs.
But so what I was looking at that roster though, like if you think about it, and I've said this a lot. Like, and I know, now I'm like nervous to compare things.
Sorry. I was just wondering where your brain was going.
I said about veterans, right? Who are the veteran leaders on this team? Like, whether you liked it or not, you had Preston Smith on that team.
Yep.
You had Aaron Jones. Yep. You had, you had some guys that were leading the way. Was it Bakhtiari was still there, right?
Was he?
I'm not 23?
I'm not sure he was still there.
Was that 22?
Yeah, I think 22.
Well, was it 22? Okay, yeah. I can't remember. When was the last time I played there?
22.
I played in 22. Bakhtiari was there in 23. He was there 1 year after.
1 year after. Did he play?
Yeah, I remember. Maybe that's when he gave the finger in Chicago, right?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was 23. So, like, you had some people. So I'm just like, who are those guys? Like, who's going to be the galvanizing force in that locker room to say, hey, we're 5-3-1. We're so close. Our defense is elite. Like, let's just figure it out on offense. Let's keep it simple. Let's figure this thing out, and let's find a way to just plot along and win some games. Like, it doesn't have to be overcomplicated. We don't have to find this offense like that all of a sudden, wow, we're scoring 40 points. Like, you need to score 20 points. Like, just get some little positive shifts that are going to help this team move forward.
You don't have to recreate the wheel. You don't have to do everything perfect. You just need to they just need to trust. I almost want to say they need to trust the process, and they haven't been trusting the process.
Yeah, I mean, again, but we've said this from the very beginning of the season, even in those wins, those first 2 wins, just trying to figure out what the identity is of this team.
Right.
Like, the defense is the identity. Like, they are a good pressure-packed defense. They're going to keep teams from scoring a ton of points for the most part. But, like, offensively, there's just not an identity. Last year, they ran the ball well. This year, it's like, what do they do well? They should throw, like, bubble screens okay at times. Like, I don't know. Like, I really don't know what their identity is.
So if you can't, can you create veteran leadership in the middle of a season? I don't feel like that's something you can do, right? That's something that's established.
This goes back to that conversation
Right,
of like the pieces they brought in. They brought in an Aaron Banks and Nate Hobbs who are hurt and not better, seem to be like,
no, but they have Jacobs,
leaders.
They have X, they have Jordan Love. Like, they have the guys who are supposed to be those guys.
Yeah.
I think Elton Jenkins was supposed to be one of those guys.
Absolutely was. Yeah,
Like,
I think that's good.
Yeah.
But now I wonder if that's the top characteristic you can compare, just looking at it, to a season turnaround is veteran leadership. And we are talking about, for the third straight year, not an excuse, the youngest team in the NFL.
Facts, just facts.
Like, that unsettles me, because I don't know where else you're supposed to point to as far as to turn this thing around. What are other traits that you look at to try to say this is something that can actually be turned around?
You just have the guys in the building, leaning into like their process, and like we have to trust on the outside that they're putting the work in, they're detailing the things in practice that are going to get them to be successful on Sundays. Because yes, like if you look at, all right, you have Jordan Love, you have Rashawn Gary, like they're like kind of the people in this building. And again, yes, comparing my time there, because that's what I know. Like I was there with Rashawn Gary and with Jordan Love. Like those guys, I'm not sure like they are these kind of the type of leaders that are going to be vocal and just kind of lead the way from the front. They're going to do their job. They're going to plod along. They're going to go to work, do the things they need to do. But the way this team is built and how Goody built it is from a space of let's get rid of anyone over 35 years old.
30 even.
Yeah, I mean, McManus is the only one over 30.
I mean, Aaron Banks, Keyshawn Nixon, and Zane Anderson are 28.
Yeah,
that's it.
So it's just like, let's go young. Let's not bring anyone in to like fill some kind of leadership gaps and like push these young guys. And I think that for me, that's always going to be an important piece of any roster, especially an NFL roster, is just to have. And a lot of times it's from guys though, like myself, like Aaron, like guys that have been in a program for a long time in a culture saying, this is unacceptable. This is not how we do things around here. Like, turn it around. Words aren't going to get it done, the actions and the process, but it just has to be known all the time that this is how it's done here in Green Bay.
We know what we think here in Wisconsin, as Mason just said. Let's find out what the eye on the enemy thinks. Tommy Lugauer from WFAN in New York is going to join us next, kind of give us a take on what this week has been like as they've switched head coaches and let Brian Daboll go. What the Jameis Winston era is going to look like there in the Meadowlands. So let's get to him next. He's Mason Crosby, Tommy Wirtz. I'm Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. The Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. We're in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. is the Mason Crosby Show. I'm Mitch Nelson, aka Thunder. Mason's here. Tommy Wirtz is here. And it's that calm before the storm. We are sick and tired of talking about Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur and all the this, that, and all the others. Let's play some football, shall we?
Let him cook.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson's on the Giants, but he's not going to be cooking on Sunday.
No, he's not. Jameis Winston. We'll see about that. Joining us now on the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all from WFAN in New York. He is Tommy Lugauer. Tommy, good day to you,
guys. How we doing? Appreciate you having me on.
Heck yeah! Thanks for joining, and always a pleasure to have you join the show. Talking eye on the enemy, talking about New York Giants versus the Packers. What do you think? I mean, you got Jameis Winston starting this weekend. How y'all feeling out there in New York?
Yeah, look, it's obviously a bummer that Jackson Dart got banged up, and we all kind of feel that around here. That we're all super excited for him, but he's got to learn to protect himself a little bit better. Now, there's been conflicting opinions on whether or not Brian Dable was running too many, quarterback runs for him, and he was more interested in keeping his job than he was protecting the young quarterback. Look, that's debatable, and Brian Dable's gone now. But to me, bottom line, and I know he's a young player, but Jackson Dart has to do a little bit better job of protecting himself. So it definitely stinks that he is not playing this week. But, and you just mentioned his name, and I know it's Badger country, but Russell Wilson is just over the hill in my opinion. I think it was a bad signing to begin with.
Agreed.
From the Giants. I don't get it, especially when days before that they had signed Jameis Winston, who's more than capable to be your bridge quarterback backup. And you could say whatever you want about Jameis. He'll throw 6 touchdowns, three of them to the other team. But when Jameis is on the field, it's exciting. He's exciting off the field with his commentary, and he's a gunslinger. He could sling it. So it'll be exciting. And when the Giants have been in the situation they've been over the last couple of years, any type of excitement you could get from the quarterback position definitely pumps up the fan base.
Yeah. So with that, like watching the last few games, especially the games where the Giants let some of those big leads, kind of had some of these games in hand, and then ended up losing to Denver, and then last week to Chicago. I mean, there's been some talks that Daboll has been, was going after Kafka a couple times, threatening to demote him, some different things. Like, did y'all see or hear any of that? There in New York, was that something that was well known that was going on there?
Well, look, yes, but it wouldn't have been the first time. Obviously, it was well documented that Brian Dable and Wink Martindale did not get along. And now Wink, obviously, with Michigan having success there, and the Giants' defense has not been the same ever since Wink left. Now, it's new personnel, but the Giants' defense has underachieved all year. I mean, they really have. When you look at the guys they have on this defensive line, I know they've had injuries in the secondary, and Paulson Adebo should be back this week. Javon Holland is back healthy, but the Giants' D-line should be way better than it's been, and they've been blowing these leads, and Shane Bowen, the new DC, has been under fire for that. Now, look, he kept his job. Obviously, Kafka, who you brought up, is now the new head coach. But, yeah, one of the things that Brian Dable couldn't shake here is that he got a little too emotional, even with the Daniel Jones stuff. I mean, Daniel Jones is now having success with Indy, and my take on it is that Brian Dable, quite frankly, screamed at him too much. Now, look, Mason, you played, I didn't, and I know it's just a different athlete now, and I don't think you could just yell and scream at everybody. Some people you have to treat a little bit differently. But Brian Dable, at least based on reports, stuff we hear, read, and see, his over-emotion or his hot-headedness and thick-headedness and being sort of an alpha ultimately led to his undoing. And just the fact that, look, he didn't win enough games. I mean, really, that's the bottom line. You could yell and scream at everybody, but if you're not winning, 10 or 12 games, you're going to get the hook.
Yeah, I think you hit it right on the head, Tommy, is the emotional yelling. Like if it comes to a place where it feels like personal and there's a lot of emotion behind it. Yeah. Like I think the modern football player is not going to respond well to that. If it's demanding and, very pointed and intentional, like I think any athlete can kind of, live with that, but probably the personal attacks are where you cross the line. I was just looking at this Giants season though. I mean, they've had some squeakers, right? Like, I mean, they lost to the Cowboys in overtime, high scoring game. They beat the Eagles at home, which, that's one we're going to, have to look at and talk about, obviously, with the Packers coming to town. barely lost to the Broncos, kind of threw one away against the Bears last week. So, I mean, this season was like almost a different looking season with some of those games going a different way. Like, what do you truly feel about this Giants team as far as are they close to being a decent team, or are they just kind of not there yet?
So I think they're very close, and that's kind of been a hot topic here because there are at least reports that Joe Shane is going to keep his job, GM of the Giants. And I agree with that because I think he's built the roster. I think the Giants' biggest mistake starting the year was not having Jackson Dart start in week 1. And I know it's a little unconventional to have a rookie quarterback start in week 1, but C.J. Stroud did it, Jaden Daniels did it, Bo Nix did it. Those are 3 examples of guys that did it recently and made the playoffs. So I was all for Jackson Dart being the starting quarterback in week 1, and he earned the job. But I think that Russell Wilson, this is just my speculation, was brought in here and promised the starting job, so they had to, have Russ out there for a few weeks. Once Dart started, there was a spark. And they beat the Chargers in his debut. They beat the Eagles, like you alluded to. And then things kind of unraveled in that Denver game. And then a major thing is that Cam Scadaboo got hurt, who we all love here. He's already become a fan favorite. He had that gruesome injury.
Yeah.
And the spark of the team kind of left. And obviously Neighbors got hurt, Malik Neighbors in the Charger game. But so when you lose 2 of your biggest offensive weapons, and now obviously Dart is out, there is, that spark is missing. But I think they're close. And for me, and I'd love to get your take on this, Mason, the guy I want, because I think the Giants need a program builder. They need an adult in the room, a guy who has success, is your pal Mike McCarthy. That's who I want the Giants to hire. I think Mike McCarthy absolutely deserves another opportunity in this league. He wins games. He's won a Super Bowl. I just don't want to go the coordinator route. The Giants have gone the coordinator route a bunch of times here. They haven't had success. I want a Mike McCarthy to lead this team with my young quarterback. Because I think, to your question, the talent is there. I just think the Giants have a bad coaching staff. And I think Mike McCarthy can build the right staff, get the right OC, get the right defensive coordinator. And I know a lot of people say, well, he only won 1 Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. Okay, but he won 1 Super Bowl. And, he didn't have success in the playoffs in Dallas. Yeah, but he won 12 games every year and got to the playoffs. We haven't done that here very recently with the Giants. So I would sign for 12 wins a year and get to the playoffs. So the guy I've been banging the table for is a guy you guys are very familiar with, and that's Mike McCarthy.
Man, all right. We got Tommy Lugauer, WFAN in New York, joining the Mason Crosby Show, talking about Packers versus Giants this weekend. And
Mace, what do you think?
Some big news, Mike. Yeah, Mike McCarthy there in New York. Well, you said, yes, we only won 1 Super Bowl with Mike. Well, the Giants are the reason we probably, we didn't go to a couple more. Y'all knocked us out of the playoffs like a bunch of jerks, but. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think with a young quarterback like Jackson Dart, his ability to not only run the ball whenever you need to, isn't he leading the league in rushing touchdowns for quarterbacks? Like just like an athlete, a gamer, one of those guys. Like you get a guy like Coach McCarthy in there, he is going to shape him into the type of quarterback and the type of leader that you want for that team. I think that's a great take. I think that's a wise choice. I think he would fit that culture. Being there for just a few weeks, a few years ago, I mean, I think it would feel very similar to him, like it did in Green Bay. Fan base is maybe a little bit different, but definitely a similar feel organizational wise, where they give their head coach a lot of leeway to go out, run the program the way they want to run it, and I think Mike would really excel there. So I think that's a great take.
Yeah, no, exactly. And like I said, you have the young quarterback, and if you can handle being the Dallas Cowboys head coach, I mean, to me, that there's no other bigger pressurized situation.
Yeah.
Another name, and I'd love to get your guys' take on this too, is your DC, Jeff Hafley. He's been getting a lot of buzz to get a head coaching job. I don't know a ton about him. I know I don't want to go the coordinator route. I know he was a head coach at BC, and college is different than the pros. Nothing against him. I'm always skeptical of the leap, but that's another name that's kind of been a name that's been thrown around here for the Giants.
Yeah, I think obviously that's he's going to have a lot of attention at the end of the season, and if he doesn't take a head coaching job, we will be surprised around Wisconsin for sure, because he's going to have that attention. But I do think for like that New York Giants team, you have Jackson Dart, you have Malik, you have Scadaboo, you have this young offense that I feel like an offensive coach, because if you bring in a DC, defensive coordinator, you're going to have to hire really well. And like you said, like McCarthy's going to have established coaches that he will bring with him into a staff where Hafley might have to, really, have to put something together for the first time. So I do think in y'all's situation, a McCarthy would make more sense with the type of roster you have, going and trying to win right away versus building something from the ground up.
Absolutely.
I do want to talk. We'll talk a little bit more about coaches, and we'll talk specifically about this game because, like you said, starting Russell Wilson those first couple weeks. Do you feel like Daboll, it was more of a mindset of like protecting your job, trying not to lose your job? Like, all right, if Russell Wilson, a veteran, can just get us going in the right direction, I don't have to lean on Jackson Dart. I don't have to like throw everything out there and just kind of, take this big risk in a sense. Do you think he was trying to protect his job and it ended up backfiring? Because I'm a huge proponent of like push the chips in, and you're going all in, whatever happens, happens. But I'm going to go with like the best possible way to go and win and have success. Do you think Daboll was like almost trying to save his job more than playing to be great and go win ball games?
Yeah, I think you're 100% spot on. I think the Giants, and you could clump Joe Shane into this as well, who is still on the hot seat. They went into this year trying to get two bites at the apple, in my opinion. Russell Wilson being the first one. You figure Russell Wilson, borderline Hall of Famer, certainly you can make a case for it. Went to the playoffs last year with the Steelers, has had success now in Seattle, not so much in Denver, but, did pretty good for the Steelers. And you're hoping for stability. You're hoping to be in that, and the NFL loves this graphic, the in the hunt graphic at the end of the year, which so everybody is locked in, teams that are like 3 games under 500. So the fan base is still interested.
Exactly.
I think they were looking to keep Jackson Dart on ice because he was sort of the ace in the hole. And if things went south, they were hoping for later in the year, you could bring in Jackson Dart with a decent record, not like terrible, but let's say a little under 500. Go to Dart, excite the fan base, give ownership a reason for hope, and go, yeah, we selected this guy, and you'll keep your job. The problem is that Russell Wilson gave you nothing. They go to Dart earlier than they probably wanted to. They had that horrible collapse against Denver. The noise just started getting louder and louder. Then you have the collapse against the Bears, and it just got too much to keep Daboll. The biggest thing was they should have just started Jackson Dart from the beginning. Like you said, push all your chips in the middle. You have Jameis as the backup. So even if Dart gets hurt or struggles, you could go to Winston and you could always go back to Jackson Dart. They just put themselves in a tricky spot this year because of the fact that your coach and general manager's on the hot seat, and you're also trying to manage a rookie quarterback. That's a really, tough spot. And they handled it, not good at all.
Tommy Lugauer, 660 WFAN in New York, joining us. Eye on the enemy here on the Mason Crosby Show. We all know about the bump with switching coaches. We all know about the bump with not switching quarterbacks. Certainly Winston starting because of an injury, not because of a switch. What type of energy do you expect to see from the Giants on Sunday? And is it energy enough? And granted, with the Packers, who knows with their inconsistency, but is it energy enough to make this game competitive, to figure out a way to get to the fourth quarter and maybe escape with a victory for the Giants?
Yeah, I think there will be energy because a lot of the fans wanted to see Daboll go. So I think you get a bump from that. I think the team will have a bump just because there was a change. Jameis himself brings so much energy. If this was a different quarterback, forget even Russell Wilson. If this was just, random backup that was in there, I think the Giants would be in big trouble. But Jameis just has that. Now, it can wear thin at times, but in 1 week, It's not going to. You know what I mean? Like after 6 weeks, it's like, all right, we get it. But
yeah, is this real? Is this really happening?
Yeah, but 1 week of Jameis slinging it around, I think they'll be into it. But you brought it up too, and I don't have to tell you this, but the Packers are just so up and down. Yeah. It's hard to know, and Love is just kind of 1 week you think he's great, the other week you're like, is he great? I don't know. The one thing I will say is the Giants can't stop the run. So if the Packers were smart, they would just run Josh Jacobs all day, and the Giants would have they could not stop him. They've just been terrible against the run for years. So that would be my game plan, sort of muck it up, keep Jameis off the field, force him into mistakes. But I do expect a bump just from the head coach firing, and because Jameis just gives you that excitement because he's just going to, go balls to the wall.
Well, Tommy, one of our last questions, unless the guys have something else, I just wanted to, from a Giants, reporter from covering that team, and then watching, the Packers play, especially over the last couple of weeks. Like, what are you seeing from the Packers in these inconsistent games against Carolina, against the Eagles, especially offensively? Like, what is your outside perspective like? Because here in Wisconsin, obviously, we're breaking it down every day of, all right, LaFleur can't call again. Like, what's going on? So what are you seeing from this Packers team from a Giants perspective?
Yeah, it's funny. Like, we had a caller because obviously, Packers, there are Packer fans everywhere. So we have Packer fans in our audience. And I didn't realize this, that there's people that think that LaFleur is even on the hot seat, which to me is nuts. Yeah. Like, I would not fire him. I think that would be a mistake. I would not do that. But we heard from a Packer fan this week that was, brought his name up potentially. And I was like, no, I would not do that. But that's it. The way I break down the Packers is, number one, they kind of fell into the hype machine, which is a bad spot to be in. Once they traded for Parsons, everybody thought, oh, Packers Super Bowl. And it's hard to live up to those expectations. Also, Kraft's a beast, obviously got hurt, so which is a bummer. I feel like they have 6 receivers, but they don't really have a receiver. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have Golden kind of been a bust so far. We'll see, obviously, out of Texas. But they don't have like that one receiver where you're like, it was Kraft, really. Jacobs is great, but it's almost like they have too many wide receivers, Watson, Dobbs. They can't really pick one or two to kind of go after teams. It's like they haven't really like figured out their offense and the love inconsistencies. Like I said, one week people think he's awesome, the next week people think he stinks. So who is the real Jordan Love? And I think that's really the key to them. Like, if Jordan Love truly unlocks what his potential is, I think the Packers take off. But that's just kind of the sense I get from, just fantasy football, watching all the games on Sunday.
Yeah, spot on. I think that's how we are looking at it. I think we are internally. There are definitely people thinking about LaFleur, which I think we hear from around the country. Everybody thinks is crazy. But when you're in the middle of it, you're going to hear every voice, right? There are probably Giants fans who think that Jackson Dart's terrible, and
it's for sure not the Packer way, though. Just like you're 5-3-1, and we're caught. Like, they're not moving on from a winning head coach. Like, he's going to have to be a proven loser before they ever move on.
Well, and I also think about it too, and you guys could speak to this better, but I would imagine the Packers are the number one team out there. Like, that is like, it's Green Bay Packers.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That is correct.
So that would be like out here. Like, your Giants are certainly there, Yankees. And I just think back to the Aaron Rodgers when they were 0-2 and he said, relax. But I would imagine a lot of Packer fans get antsy. You know what I mean? Because there's so much great history there. So it's hard to live up to when you wear that uniform. It's tough. Like, if you're 5-3, people are like, well, that's not good enough. Where, 95% of the NFL would sign for that.
For sure.
Good point. Tommy, thank you so much for jumping on today. Enjoy the game on Sunday. Hopefully not too much. And we will definitely catch up with you down the road.
All right. Appreciate it as always, guys. You be well.
Thanks
a lot, Tommy.
We didn't even get a chance to talk Knicks or make fun of the Mets or anything like that, but we'll do that next time.
Yeah, we'll just do that on.
I think he's Yankees, right? Isn't it Giants, Yankees,
but we've had him on to talk Mets before. But he is a Yankees guy. Yes, that is correct. I didn't want to give him any Aaron Judge love, that's for sure. That made me throw up in my mouth last night. This is the Mason Crosby Show. He's Mason, he's Tommy, I'm Thunder. We are presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Lots more to come. Get your fantasy football questions in now. Mikey Henninger joining us at the top of the 1 o'clock hour, 414-677-1250.
That's all right.
All right.
That's still
good. Still got it.
All right. That's still our number. 414-677-1250. Get your fantasy football questions in now so we are ready to roll at the top of the 1 o'clock hour. This is the Mason Crosby Show.
Yep.
Now that we found Jordan Love, what are we going to do with him? Heavy D and the boys, baby. Let's go. This is the Mason Crosby Show. I'm Mitch Nellis. Tommy Wirtz is here as well. Mace, I know you remember this one.
I do. What movie does it remind you of?
I don't think it was in Save the Last Dance, but it reminds me of that. It reminds me of some Kid and Play movies as well.
Yeah,
House Party.
That movie Hitch.
Oh, Hitch.
Yeah, that's what it always.
Hitch.
Every time I hear it, I remember.
Mikey
I
knew that one.
Yeah.
Mikey Henninger jumped it right in already. Basement Brew Fantasy Football coming up in about 10 minutes or so. He said Hitch, baby. That's right. I only saw Hitch once. I never got into it. I don't know.
Really?
I know it's got Will Smith. I don't know anything other than that.
Kevin James. Kevin James is hilarious.
I assumed it would be one that I'd see like over and over again on like TNT or TBS, and I feel like I don't.
Really?
Yeah.
It's one of my all-time favorites. It's one of Molly's all-time favorites.
Nice.
When she loves a movie, she'll watch it until like she's tired of it. So I feel like we watched Hitch until it was just like, all right, we can't watch this movie anymore.
So you and Mikey are on the same page because Mikey literally wrote top 10, boys, top 10.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man.
All right, maybe I got to go watch it again because I feel like when I watched it, it was at home and I wasn't really paying attention, and I don't know. It'd be a good one
over like the holiday season.
Kids?
Like it's fun. It's great.
All right. Great job by Tommy Lugauer jumping on. Always good to hear his perspective on what's going on in New York. I do think kind of what I said at the end of the first segment, like aren't we just tired of talking about this? Don't we just want to get to Sunday at noon? Like, let's get to a football game already.
Yeah, I think it's time. To get there. I'm excited to hear, from Mikey here at the start of the 1 o'clock hour, just to dive into fantasy world. Let's just, get into that fantasy space and, just talk about all the things going around the NFL, what he thinks. He sent us a nice little clip. He's like, this is like just a little hint. This is a Josh Jacobs week.
Yeah.
Like this Giants defense has given up a lot of fantasy points to running backs.
Well, and Tommy Lugauer said the same thing. Like, we can't stop the run. Like, Giants can't stop the run.
So what will we feel if they go out there and they lean heavy into the run and you can't run the ball against this Giants team?
Season's
over.
Are
they completely broken?
Then we know the offensive line is fully broken, and something that Stenovich and or LaFleur and or Gutekunst did is wrong. Like something got misjudged, something got broken along the way. If the Packers can't run against the Giants,
but it looks like Aaron Banks is probably not going to be playing, right? So you don't have
is that a loss?
Aaron,
is that a loss at this point? Is that a loss?
I don't know. I mean, you can start Jordan Morgan at left at left guard. Who are you?
Got to start somebody.
He's playing right guard.
Belton.
So then Belton, I get.
Gosh. Well, Kennard will probably get some action too, right? I mean,
but I like Ryan at center.
Yeah.
Right. I think that.
Yeah, Sean Ryan's
plays.
Established at center. It looks like Golden and Van Ness are practicing again today. So
Van Ness, I think, is more of a question mark. LaFleur today in his press conference was kind of like, if he's good to go, he'll go, but he's still pretty limited. It sounds like.
Do you need him, and do you want to put him on that active roster if he's only going to play 20 snaps?
That's a good point. Real quick, we did want to say congratulations, not just Pat Murphy winning Manager of the Year, but Matt Arnold winning Executive of the Year. And a question I kind of had about that was like, it's great that they both won, but does that make you feel like better, like happy about the Brewers? Or does it make you feel like even a little more upset that they didn't win in the playoffs? Like when you have both of those guys and you still can't get it done.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a piece, but you have to applaud that regular season. I mean, that was special. The Dodgers are a juggernaut, and that regular season was fun. I mean, I've never had that much fun watching baseball throughout the summer than I did this summer. So, congrats to them. Awesome season, and let's reload and let's do it again next year.
Yeah, I think that's the key right there. Mikey Henninger, Basement Brew Fantasy Football, going to join us when we come back. Get your fantasy questions, 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. That's the Nicolay Law Talking text line, taking your fantasy questions there. The Mason Crosby Show is presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tommy, Mason, Thunder, let's go!
There goes my hero.
Man, I could listen to those dulcet tones all day.
It's like George Strait singing, "There Goes My Hero."
Did I go a little like country, like old school country?
A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. On the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and on the free Odyssey app.
Oh, yeah. This is hour number 2 of the Mason Crosby Show. I'm Mitch Nellis. He's Mason Crosby. Tommy Wirtz is here as well. Tommy, how was Inside Wisconsin Sports this morning? Did you tear it up?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Big Trev. He's a good dude to hang out with. This is just, they're just toying with me on my sleep schedule. I gotta figure it. Like, I just got to the point of where I was no alarm and comfy and wake up at 9 if you want. And now it's like
It's hour number 7 for you.
well, that show starts at 6.
Yeah.
And Trevor's like, I'm gonna be online, ready to go at 5.
Yeah.
I'm like, why?
Dude, I did it Monday and Tuesday.
Why is
Because
it?
he's cutting up sound. He does like a 4-page. Like we
Well-
do a 1-page rundown. He's got like a 4-page rundown.
He
Let's
also,
go.
I think I cut 92% of the sound. Maybe
But you
more.
didn't need to.
Right,
didn't
but
need to.
you know, I also like to be a helpful
Don't be an
teammate
overachiever, you
and
jerk.
a overall nice guy. And
Do your job.
dare I say, I might have impressed Trevor.
Wow.
Wow.
Do you want me to sing There Goes My Hero again?
No,
There
I'm
goes
just trying to get
There
Mason to say you
goes
impressed
my
me one more
hero."
time. If I get another one, it'll be 3.
I never said it. No.
You
I
Mitch
love the
said it.
country
I don't-
version.
You've
I love the
said,
country
wait,
version.
you've told me that you were impressed twice in 1 week and never since.
Right.
Never.
As it should be. You got to earn it.
Yeah.
This is the
yeah.
Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Joining us now on the Mason Crosby Show, he's on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law, our buddy Mikey Henninger from Basement Fruit Fantasy Football. What is up, Mikey?
What's up, guys? I'm still out here singing the Hitch theme song. Now that we found love. Yeah, just too
First
good.
of all,
I love it.
Mikey,
I'm
how
glad
old
you
how-
knew that,
wait,
Mikey.
wait. But Mikey,
Oh, yeah.
how old are you?
38, 37.
Because
38.
with all due respect,
One of
it
those.
is not the Hitch theme song. It was a banger for years before Hitch even was a thought in someone's brain. If you know, you know.
Mitch danced with Martha Washington to that
Yeah.
song.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
Let me
That is wrong.
rephrase. Hitch is the movie that I think of the second I hear that song come on. The
That's
second I
fair.
hear that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
How about Travion Henderson, man?
Woo, baby. It's awesome. I sent out a message to my people in my Discord yesterday. I said, "Happy Trevion Henderson Day, everybody!" And sure enough, he rattled off 3 tutties. It was awesome, man. We've been waiting for this
no
moment,
big
and
deal.
finally it's here. And it's RJ Harvey week this week too. So rookies are gonna do
Is
it.
that real? Okay, so I gotta.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean
not a
he's
fan
got
of
a
Henderson. I have Drake May on my team, so I'm like, just
Yeah.
throw a touchdown pass. You know, sure.
He did one. He threw one to
I
him,
know,
so that's
but
nice.
yeah,
but-
it's Travion Henderson just running it in from like 12 yards out. Like, come on, like throw a few touchdown
There he is.
passes.
Yep, they let Drake May get involved a little bit throwing to him, but yeah, I'm with you there. I have Drake May in my most important dynasty league. So
Ooh. All right.
He's still good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got a bunch of questions coming in. I know
Okay.
you wanted to kick things off. We had Tommy Lugauer from the Fan in New York talking about it, that New York's run defense isn't very good. We got the teaser from you that it could be Josh Jacobs week. Could we see like what the Patriots did to the Jets? Could that be a Josh Jacobs type performance on Sunday as well?
yeah, man, it's funny. So you guys know I spend about 20 plus hours a week putting together a weekly resource called the Week Winner for my members every week. And once I finished the Packers, once I finished Josh Jacobs, my first thought I was like, I gotta text these guys. Like we've talked about Josh Jacobs so many times in the last few weeks, but this week, guys, it's insane. I mean, the starters for starters, the Packers are 7-point favorites here, right? So we've seen that come back to haunt them plenty of times in the last few weeks, but the data suggests that it should be a run-heavy game script. They have a nice projected team total, which suggests plenty of touchdown opportunities. Josh Jacobs himself is averaging dang near 20 PPR points per game. He's averaging 1.2 touchdowns per game. And then you get the Giants, right? The Giants are allowing the second most rushing yards to opposing running backs, 7th most touchdowns, 2nd most PPR points per game, and the most PPR points per touch. These guys are allowing 1.08 fantasy points every single time a running back touches the ball. You get Josh Jacobs 20 plus touches, and now we're cooking with gas, right?
Let's go.
And by the way, I forgot to mention 4 different running backs in just 9 games have scored 25 plus fantasy points against the Giants this year. It's just if Matt LaFleur doesn't give Josh Jacobs 20 plus touches here, we got a problem.
Yeah, if we hear in that press conference after, gosh, we should have gotten the ball more to Josh Jacobs, then I think we're going to all lose our minds a little bit. I will, no doubt. Yeah. Who else on this from this Packers-Giants game are you looking at as potential, let's just go on like kind of front runners. Who should you be signing? And then I want you to tell us who might, be that sleeper that people should be looking at.
You know what? I mean, I know we got a lot of Packers fans listening, but if we flip it to the other side, the Giants, there's actually some appeal on the other side there. For starters, Jameis Winston is an instant stream-worthy quarterback. I think there's a lot of people that don't recognize this guy averaged about 18 to 19 fantasy points per game over 63 career games where he just threw 30 pass attempts. He's one of those fun quarterbacks that might not be the best NFL quarterback, but he gets you fantasy points. And then you got their pass catchers, by the way. Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson, Theo Johnson's got a great matchup against the Packers. If there's one thing we've learned about Jameis Winston over the years, is that this guy is willing to YOLO ball it. 3 of the 4 most heavily targeted seasons of Mike Evans' career, by the way, came from Jameis Winston. His career high in catches came with Jameis Winston back in 2016. We've seen Chris Godwin ball out. He had his best season of his career with Jameis Winston. The dude, say what you will about Jameis Winston as a quarterback, but he knows how to get his guys the football. So if the Giants are going to be in a pass-heavy game script, this should be a week where Wan'Dale and Darius Slayton and Theo Johnson, those guys can rack up some catches.
Nice.
Interesting. Yeah. Because then Jameis Winston, didn't he have he had the most interceptions and most touchdowns in one season?
That's the problem is he'll throw 2 or 3 touchdowns, but he'll throw 2 or 3 interceptions as well.
Yeah. NFL quarterback, different than fantasy quarterback. Jameis Winston gets fantasy points, baby. So he's a fan in the fantasy football community for sure.
414-677-1250, the Nikolai Law Talking text line, 414-677-1250. We will get to your text in a moment. But Pat is in Economowoc. Pat, you're on with Mikey Henninger from Basement Brood of Fantasy Football.
Hey, I got a quarterback dilemma that I battle each week. Bo Nix or Caleb Williams?
Caleb Williams, let's go.
It's weird to hear a Packer fan say that, but I'm actually with you on that one, Mitch. It's hard to bench.
Let's go in real life again. Let's go in fantasy.
Yeah, this is fantasy.
You're right. Different. You're right. Listen, I'll say it is going to be kind of hard to bench Bo Nix in this matchup with the Chiefs. The matchup itself is not particularly pretty. There's nothing that's exciting about the Chiefs matchup, but you get Broncos Chiefs. These guys are going to be battling for the division. I'm credit to the Chargers as well, but this is going to be a dogfight. The problem is it's projected to be a lower scoring game. There's only a 44.5 over under. We're not expecting too many touchdowns in this thing. Whereas when you take the Bears, it looks like they're going to be chasing points against the Vikings. This game's got a 48.5 point over under. This is a good opportunity to keep firing up Caleb Williams. I'd be going Caleb Williams here over Bo Nix. I wouldn't say it's by a lot, but I'd call it 55 to 45%. I'd go Caleb Williams this week.
Nice. Okay. All right, Pat, thanks for the call.
Thanks, Pat.
Rafe writes in from the 636. I don't know where that is, but we might have to look that up. Is Jaden Reed worth a stash on the bench? I have 7 spots on my bench. Mike Evans is on IR. There's 1 IR spot that you're allowed. Is it worth stashing Jaden Reed for the end of the season, Mikey?
Yeah. I mean, it always totally depends on your league. Is this a 12 team versus an 8 team, for example? But if you have the space, it can't hurt to stash him. I would say I would stash him over Mike Evans. If Mike Evans comes back, it's going to be really, really, really late in the season, maybe the final week of fantasy football in which you wouldn't want to trust him anyway. Mason, Thunder, Tommy, I don't know if you guys have heard anything about when Jaden Reed is coming back.
But the timeline kind of added up to Thanksgiving was optimistic, right? When the injury initially happened.
But he is running at practice. I know he's running.
I feel like they're going to take it slow. It doesn't feel like he's going to play by Thanksgiving still.
Yeah, so it's probably all right. That collarbone's going to be a while.
Right.
Yeah.
And usually the Packers training staff, and Mason, you have better insight on this than I do, but my understanding is that the Packers training staff tends to take the cautious approach with their players. And Jaden Reed, here's the thing. Even when he does come back, we know the Packers offense by now, right? Tons of mouths to feed with Matthew Golden, if he's going to go, Romeo Dobbs, Christian Watson's heating up. There's just a lot of different routes to go. But over the last few years, Jaden Reed's been the best wide receiver in that offense. And Mike Evans just doesn't seem like a guy who's going to be able to make an impact here in the 2025 fantasy football season. So it can't hurt to stash Jaden Reed. It just kind of depends on what the other options are.
We got Mikey Henninger here on the Mason Crosby Show from Basement Brood Fantasy. Get your fantasy football questions in. I have a personal one that I want to ask for my team here real quick. Do I start, who was that, Khalil Shakir or Jameson Williams?
Ooh.
Oh, Jameson Williams, the ultimate boom or bust wide receiver
right?
in fantasy football. So here's exactly what it is, Mason. This is a classic, like, do you want the ceiling or do you want the floor? Because Jameson Williams can get you 20-plus points in any given week.
Do you want the window or the wall?
The window. Yeah, little John.
That makes me think of Hitch.
Yeah, relax.
But Khalil Shakir is going to be the safer floor for you. He's more of the quote-unquote guaranteed, which is a terrible word to use in anything fantasy football, but the guaranteed touches, whereas Jameson Williams, we know what Jameson Williams is. It's 0 or it's 20. Now, I will say that the Bills do have a really nice setup this week. It could be a possible shootout with the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are allowing the 13th most PPR points per game. It's a good spot to use Khalil Shakir. He's probably going to offer you a much safer floor than Jameson Williams. The ceiling should be at least somewhat similar, whereas Jameson Williams' floor is not going to be similar to Khalil Shakir. So the combination probably leans more towards Shakir than JMO, but if you got to swing for the fences, JMO's the way to go.
Nice.
All right.
BasementBroodFF.com. BasementBroodFF.com is where you can get all the great latest information. There's a lot of good free stuff. It's like a cup of coffee a day if you sign up to get the insider stuff. Of course, there's always the 8 a.m. Sunday morning live YouTube that's going on. We've got a 262 has a question here on the talking text line, 414-677-1250. Again, by the way, 636 is St. Louis. So I'm guessing Rafe is in the area, but if he's in St. Louis or he came from St. Louis or whatever it might be, Jaylen Warren or David Montgomery in the flex full PPR. Thanks. Look forward to your segment every week. That's what 262 says.
Oh, thanks, 262. Appreciate you. Man, I'm really happy they asked this question because one of the guys I'm most excited about this week is Jaylen Warren. David Montgomery's fine. His matchup is fine. The Eagles do allow 11th most PPR points per game, 9th most PPR points per touch. But, the Lions, they're underdogs. They have just a mediocre scoring projection. That game could be a little bit more of a dogfight than a high scoring affair. And David Montgomery's just kind of meh. I think a lot of people don't recognize that most of his fantasy points this year came in one game. He had, I think, 29 plus against the Bengals. If you actually take away David Montgomery's best game and his worst game to balance it out, he's only averaging 10.1 PPR points per game. But then you got Jaylen Warren. And this week in particular is a Jaylen Warren week. He's averaging 17 plus touches per game. By the way, he scored a season high 19.8 PPR points against these very same Bengals just a few weeks ago in week 7. The Bengals are allowing the most PPR points per game, second most PPR points per touch. This one's fun. 11 different running backs in just 9 games have been able to score 15 plus points on the Bengals. More than one running back per game is getting 15 plus points.
They stink.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Now, the one thing that I always worry about there is the Bengals got all this hype and hope that Joe Burrow might be coming back. Jamar Chase said today that they need to win this game if they're going to win the division. So who knows if that Bengals defense stiffens up a little bit, especially after Chase Brown's comments a couple weeks ago. And they're coming out of a bye week. That always can help a little bit. But still, man, just if you look at the data and the numbers, this thing tees up Jaylen Warren really, really well this week.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. So across the league, I love this every week. Across the league, who are kind of your sleeper picks, some of the picks that you're really throwing out to your listeners, to your subscribers, that everyone needs to be taking a look at.
Yeah, maybe for some people who are playing like weekly stuff and want somebody for a high value, low dollar investment or whatever that might be.
Yeah, the first name that comes to mind just off the top of my head here is Jamar Chase. He's a wide receiver for the bank. I'm just kidding. You're obviously starting Jamar Chase if you got him. But I will say I sent out a notification earlier this week about Woody Marks. Woody Marks is in a really, really, really good spot here against the Tennessee Titans. Yep. For starters, the Texans are pretty comfortable favorites. They're 7-point favorites. That suggests a nice run-heavy approach, a positive game script. They should be able to run the ball as much as they want. I doubt they want Davis Mills throwing 30-plus passes if he has to, or if he doesn't have to. We did see Woody Marks play a season-high 80% of the snaps last week. He handled a season-high 72.7% of the backfield touches, so it kind of looks like he's starting to leave Nick Chubb in the dust. And then you got the matchup, right? The Titans are a terrific matchup for running backs. They are allowing the 5th most PPR points per game. They're allowing the 6th most PPR points per touch. Woody Marks himself, by the way, had his best game of his season and career, scoring 27.9 points against the Tennessee Titans back in week 9. So that's the first name that comes to mind. He's going to be a cheaper option in DFS, by the way. You should be able to get him at a nice cost. But even if you have him on your fantasy football rosters in your season-long leagues, I'd be getting him in your lineups if you can.
All right, real quick, 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talking text line. Lloyd is in Milwaukee. Lloyd, you're on with Mikey from Basement Brood at Fantasy Football.
You got a QB question, Brissett or Aaron Rodgers?
Ooh. Brissett's playing the Niners.
Yeah.
And Rodgers is playing Cincinnati, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got to go against Cincinnati, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be leaning Rodgers here, but Jacoby Brissett, guys, is balling. This guy is putting up he has yet to score fewer than 20 fantasy points in a start for the Cardinals this year. Every week 20 plus. Now his matchup, by the way, is nothing scary. The 49ers are allowing the 9th most fantasy points per game to opposing quarterbacks, but this Bengals Steelers game, guys, this is arguably the game to target in fantasy football this week, save for maybe the Cowboys Raiders. I mean, this game has a 49.5 point over under. When they played each other just a couple weeks ago, I think they put 65 points on the board between the two of them. It was what did they call it? The Bengay Bowl between Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers or whatever.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, there should be fantasy points galore in this. The Bengals are allowing the 7th most fantasy points per game to opposing quarterbacks. And by the way, the Steelers have a projected team total of 27.5 points, which is top 5 in the NFL this week. I have to make this decision myself in a few leagues, and I'm going to be going towards Aaron Rodgers. But there's nothing wrong with going Jacoby Brissett because he's got a good matchup and he's been balling, but no Marvin Harrison hurts as well.
Right, so that hurts a little bit. Yeah, I have him in one of my leagues, and so I was going to tell you the 4 receivers. I'm deciding on one spot there, but Marvin Harrison out, I think hurts a little bit.
Yeah, so, for sure. I mean, it
leads the call, Lloyd.
It basically means Trey McBride's going to get 30 plus targets, and then they're going to try and force something to Michael Wilson, which is not going to work out. So yeah, I'm going Aaron Rodgers there.
Mikey, can I ask you a question that's kind of related to fantasy, but not about a lineup? Jonathan Taylor will have the most fantasy points of all time this season? Question.
Oh, man, dude, it's like he's scoring 3 touchdowns every week.
I know.
I joked on Twitter earlier this week. I said, I realize he's on bye, but you got to start your studs. Like, get Jonathan Taylor in your lineup. You know what I mean? Like, seriously. I don't know, man. It's possible, but I mean, there are some really good ones out there, right?
Cooper Kupp, I'm thinking of 19 McCaffrey. Like, I know he was way up there, right? And I'm sure, but like, he's got the extra game too. Like, so
it's possible. I'd be curious to do some digging on what the numbers look like, how he's trending. Obviously, the thing with Christian McCaffrey over the years is that he also offers that pass catching floor. Right. Mm-hmm. Jonathan Taylor catches passes, but not like Christian McCaffrey does. So I'm guessing he's not going to land quite there, but he's definitely winning people some leagues if he stays on the field this year.
Yeah, I just thought, I mean, every week it feels like I go up against Jonathan Taylor and he just destroys me. But
it's not good for anybody.
He's awesome and he should win MVP if it ended today. He won't, but he should. He's unreal.
He's the offensive player of the year.
Yeah, that's like
weird.
That's a running back award. Yes.
Right. Yeah. MVP goes to the quarterback. Offensive player of the year goes to somebody else.
For sure. It's a weird MVP year, though. You know, most years it feels like there's a clear cut answer, and it's Drake May. Matthew Stafford deserves to be in this conversation. Yeah. He's having a great year. There's a lot of guys that you expect Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, but this it's a different year for sure.
Does Stafford have a good wide receiver, or is that
two of them?
Just? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean,
he has a number one wide receiver. He has
another-
Devontae Adams and another number one in Puka.
Yeah.
all I'm saying is Nick Folk hasn't missed a kick all year. So if you have
That's
a vote,
that's
Mason,
kicker in football,
like
right?
Yes,
Nick Folk,
who's having a great season.
Love the Jets,
but he plays for the Jets, so that sucks.
Basement Brood. Yep, go ahead, Mikey.
I was going to say, don't the Jets have to get into field goal range to be able to kick field goals?
Exactly.
Oh, that's cold. BasementBroodFF.com, BasementBroodFF.com. All the stuff on YouTube, all the stuff on LinkedIn as well.
Twitter.
Find Mikey Henninger wherever he is. He is in all the places. So wherever you are, you can find him. Mikey, thank you so much, as always, for jumping on this week.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It was awesome. Go Pack Go, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
That's
All right,
right.
appreciate
Let's go. That's Mikey Henninger. He jumps off. If you have more questions, find him at basementbroodff.com. We got some ethics of sports to get to. We've got some Milwaukee Bucks preview to get to with a game tonight and a game tomorrow night at the Fiserv. You tell me?
shout out the Thunder too. We didn't bring it up yet.
Right,
But
The Thunder.
Thunder is 3-0.
The Thursday under 3-0
Wow.
since we started calling the Thunder.
So, hey, as of right now, though, Vrabel has to be coach of the year.
He's got to be
candidate,
coach
right?
of the year. Yeah.
I mean,
What? Colts. The only
well,
other
Shane
thing is Colts.
Steichen, would have something
Yeah.
to say about it too.
But
I don't
that's
know.
your conversation. That's
Yeah.
it. Right.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's the only ones that you can talk about. I mean,
What?
Vrabel, what they're doing there in New England
Right.
is awesome.
Crazy.
And we can talk in the next segment. Like I have some opinions about that game last night.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh.
Mason's opinions are next here on the Mason Crosby Show. We always want your opinions, Mason.
I know you do.
Yeah, we do. He's Mason. He's Tommy. I'm Mitch Nelson, a.k.a. Thunder. This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon. It is Friday, right?
It is.
All right,
Yes.
just making sure.
And
Yes.
Tommy has off tomorrow.
Oh,
Wow. First in a month? Is that-
Hold
No,
on.
I think last week I actually had 2 days off. That was crazy.
Hold on. Text Sparky and tell him that Tommy needs a shift tomorrow. There we go.
Yeah, right. No, he has
Done.
to take tomorrow off because he's working every show for what, Monday through Wednesday next week?
No, I don't think it's that long. I think it could be Monday.
There's one day that's crazy.
Now it's like up in the air because like
too many
apparently
hours?
jury duty
Oh.
could or couldn't happen.
Yeah.
All right,
and
well.
but it sounded like it was gonna happen
I'm
last
gone
week.
for like 18 weeks.
Yeah,
Right,
Thanks for that.
Are you moving after
Yeah.
next Wednesday? You going to a different school?
I just needed a break, guys. I mean,
Nice. You deserve it. You kicked for a long time.
yeah,
Your
exactly.
leg's tired.
No, it was the perfect storm of things, and it was just like, all right, I'm just going to take all Thanksgiving off. I'm just going to take the week.
The next time we see you after next Wednesday be in Wisconsin?
In Wisconsin, yeah, at the
Yes.
toy drive.
Yes.
All right, yeah, there
All
it's in real life. It's
Yes.
it'll be fun. Actually, 2 shows in a row.
Wait,
I'll be there Monday and Tuesday.
Am I about to out you here? Are you
No.
you gonna have to go to the company holiday party?
I think he
no,
is.
I won't be there. It's
You're
the
here
4th.
Tuesday. Yeah,
Is
it's
it
Tuesday
Tuesday?
night. Oh no, that's Thursday night.
It's Thursday night.
Oh, it's at Moe's though. I'm gonna eat
It
some
is at
steak.
Moe's. Yeah.
It is the luxury where I feel luxurious.
That's where I feel luxurious.
Yes.
This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. We've got some business of ethics stories to get to, but I know you got some things on your mind, Mace.
Well, just with you being a Patriots fan,
Fair.
I really disliked the Patriots jerseys they rolled out with.
Oh,
this week.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I was confused. Honestly, whenever it came on, I thought the Chargers were playing.
Yep, I can
Like,
see
I
that.
was just like, what?
Mhm.
What are these jerseys? Like,
Yeah.
it was a reach. It was like the fall. Like the
Yeah.
It was weird. It just didn't feel like the Patriots at all. And it was like the color. It was like they overwashed the jerseys
Yeah.
and they were just kind of like off blue.
Yeah.
Almost
Almost too gray, right?
Yeah, it's a weird thing to talk about, but I was just like, I was
that's
just
okay.
kind of like turned away by the jerseys. I honestly, there was a moment where I hope they lost just because they wore the jerseys.
I told Mitch that it reminded me same energy. It looks like Nationals uniforms, but the same energy as the Bucks doing Blues.
Yeah, just
what are we doing?
Trying too hard.
Yeah,
It was a try hard. It felt like a try hard jersey. Like I didn't like the white helmet with the white pants and like the.
And then I told Mitch, I was like, "Why are they beating around? Like, just go back to the red uniforms with the guy snapping the football.
That's the best one.
They are.
Like that's
It's not even close.
Yeah.
Right? It's not even close. That's the best one.
Tom Brady was cooking in those every time he put those on.
John Hanna. I always think of John Hanna, the All-Pro Hall of Fame offensive lineman, who was like, it was like I just thought of him whenever they wore those. It's funny you mentioned that, Mason, because I heard from Patriots fans and non-Patriots fans last night during the game. It seemed like most Patriots fans did not like the uniforms, but most non-Patriots fans were like, "Oh, that's something neat. That's nice." And it's like, but I kind of agree with you. Like, it was a try too hard. It reminded me of those Thursday night when they did that, when they used to do the
Color Rush?
Yeah, the Color Rush.
Yeah.
Like, remember when Jacksonville would just wear puke brown, yellow?
Exactly.
Like, what are we doing here?
I miss Color Rush so much, man.
I do too.
That was
honestly,
awesome.
like if they had even gone like the same color pants,
right? Yeah,
because
would
you're
have been
playing
better.
a team that's wearing white on the other side. Like, why would you wear white pants? Like,
you mentioned
have it all
Chargers,
solid, and then the white helmet that might have looked a little bit better.
You mentioned Chargers. It gave me Titans, and like I don't know that anybody wants to do anything
But
that
they
even
had like
looks like Titans.
they had the 2 stripes on the arms, and I was like, are those Thunderbolt? Like, what
I
are they
don't know.
doing? And then the stars were like too small. Like
Yeah.
you had to be zoomed in. I was like, come on.
So 1 to 10, Mitch Nellis as our Bostonian.
Yeah.
1 to 10
on the uniforms.
Yeah,
like a 1.7.
Oh, that low?
Yeah, they're just like, don't wear them ever again.
Yeah,
Don't
okay.
wear
wear 'em again.
Okay.
Make your money, never wear them again.
I didn't expect the score to be that
yeah,
low with what you were talking.
If you never want to,
I'm
like,
glad
right,
we're on
they
the
didn't
same
bother
page
me, but I didn't like the like. I don't really care about uniforms, but like this was stupid. Our boy Mikey, Basement Brood, chimes in. The Bucks Blues give me the blues. That's not us. Bring back the purple and green. I know a lot of people don't like the purple and green, but the blue doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Like, I get it, we're on a lake. Ooh, wow. I don't know if you know this or not, but there's a lot of American cities that are on water. They don't all wear blue.
That is a fact.
Yes,
yeah.
facts.
Look it up. You can search that on the internet right now.
14 charged in mafia-backed sports betting ring. Tommy, how do you feel about that?
Yeah. So when you sent this yesterday, I was really just, am I supposed to be shocked? Because I said like last week, it feels like this happens every week.
And it does.
And it's been like 3 or 4 weeks in a row now that we have another betting scandal, Mason, in sports.
Are these basketball players or are they?
No, it's the crime lords.
No, these are
the crime lords.
Yeah.
Okay, the crime family, like the groups are.
According to the authorities, right, Joseph Little Joe Perna, a member of the Lucchese crime family, and his associates ran a nationwide network of bookmakers who used offshore websites to facilitate approximately 2 million in bets between 22 and 24. Several college athletes operated sports books at the direction of Perna's organization. They did not answer questions regarding which colleges or sports were involved in the alleged betting ring. Everybody is going to jail.
Business ethics.
No ethics.
Lack of ethics.
But that makes it like this in this day and age, like again, so much harder, right? Like who carries around and has that much has cash, right? So like the paper trail, like there's just going to be too many ways, unless you're doing it in this like a local setting, for this to go, like it's going to blow up. Like we're going to see so many more of these instances happening. People get caught up because it's bad people wrangling in, like, you know, maybe not other bad people, but people that are getting taken advantage of. Right. They get caught up in the system. You can't get out. Now you go down a road that is just awful. So I hate it. I hate it for the people that got involved. I hate that there's this, these bad actors that are out there, wrangling in these groups of athletes to do this, but we just got to be smarter than that. Right. I mean, I talk to Nolan, I talk to my kids every time I drive them to school. Like, it's just, make good decisions. Don't gamble on sports today. Like I literally tell them that every morning.
Yeah, I mean it's paying off so far. So keep telling them.
Unless you're really good at that hopscotch game and you can fix it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like throw the first couple, get the odds up, and then be the ringer.
Well, even that would be smarter than this. It feels like, because correct me if I sound stupid, because I do that sometimes, but like, betting on the internet, like there's so much evidence. Like, why are you online on these illegal websites thinking like, oh, we're good and nothing's gonna happen because I know the mob or the mafia? And then it's like, oh, actually no, like we have evidence of everything going on right now. And Sparky seems pretty convinced, or at least worried, like daily fantasy is going to be in super jeopardy, and prop betting is going to be like, because the MLB is putting out memos, the NFL is putting out memos.
Yeah.
Like it seems like it's going to be strictly money line, overs, unders, and those type of odds.
Which is what it was for years. Mason, did you see what Scott Boras said? Scott Boras called for the removal of prop betting. Yeah. He said there's too much potential harm to player integrity. You have to remove these prop bets and make sure the integrity of the players is not questioned, because there's going to be all forms of performance questions given now to pitchers. And he's obviously involved with baseball, but with basketball players, with football players, with everybody. I mean, is Luke Musgrave, like, has he made millions and millions of dollars on prop bets because he doesn't get extra yards after the catch?
There it is. I mean,
right?
You're joking. Yeah, you're joking, but it is like that is a real thing. Like, nobody can be trusted whenever those things are in place. Like, and now that people are getting in trouble for doing these bad deeds, like that is a real thing that everyone's going to be looking at.
Also, I don't know if you guys heard this. I think Mitch might have, but you guys, I'm filling in for the morning show. I have to find an electrifying clip to play every day, courtesy of Best Electric. I had an honorable mention that I think it fits into this pretty well.
The NBA record for a rookie, consecutive free throws made, up and in for Ryan Rollins. Chauncey Billups.
Oh, a lot of silence after that. That was in the Bucks game 2 nights ago.
Like, his Con Knipple had hit like 20 in a row or something.
Yeah. So then he said the record, and I just want to say, can we not, Like, let's give it a little more time on some Chauncey Billups records.
No. Dive right in, baby.
Like, it was, I think Del Curry was like, all right, I'm not talking after that right there. But
now they're going to look at the one he missed, right?
Right.
And be like, what was the money line on that one, on that one particular free throw?
Well, and then there's a problem in the UFC with it right now. That was a huge story.
Yeah.
Like, the integrity of sports is very much up in the air right now. I wouldn't say quite in jeopardy, but like, this is definitely eyebrows raised. And I know it's been like this for a long time. And I'm sure, Mason, like, you guys had this conversation every year in the NFL, I'm sure, right? Like, did you have someone from the league come and be like, don't bet on games?
Yeah. Like, our rule was you couldn't go into a sports book during the season, there in the NFL. And then you, like, you couldn't take comps from any gambling establishments. You couldn't do anything like that. And I was talking to Nick Holtz, the coordinator here at the Titans, good buddy of mine. He was saying that since all this has been happening, they're probably every other week they have an NFL, like a representative comes and has a team meeting and is talking about all these different things that are happening and just getting in front of the players and saying, like, this is serious. We're not messing around with this. Like, if anybody, gets caught up in something like this, I'm pretty sure if it happens in the NFL and NFL players, I mean, it's not going to be a small thing, right? Like, this is going to be a big, big issue because the NFL, I mean, think of it, since they brought betting and gambling like directly into the sports world, into the NFL space, like the money that has come along with that.
Oh, it's crazy.
So, like, owners in the league don't want it to go away,
right? Because
it's a huge moneymaker, but this could literally tank so many pieces of it if it becomes the integrity of the game goes away. Then we're just like, all right, now we're going to just have AI robots playing, and you're just like you're just betting on ridiculous stuff because if you don't have integrity, sports don't make sense at all, right?
I have a couple follow-ups to that, Mason. Like the Potawatomi Sportsbook, we've all been there.
Yeah.
Like the betting window is over there. Like, does that mean like a professional athlete can't go and eat there? Like, you can't, or can you go eat there, but you can't be near the window? And also, I'll flip that on, like, at the MGM, the sportsbook is like, the poker room is like literally
poker there,
It's like right next to the sports book. Like, they're right on top of each other. Like, could you not play poker there? Or when you walk in and out, do you have to make sure you're avoiding the sports book area? Like how tight do you think they watched it in the past? And do you think they're watching it a lot more closely now?
Yeah, I mean, they're watching it, and it's now with everyone's phones and camera, it's just like they're going to, if somebody takes a picture of you hanging out in the sports book,
that doesn't
you're
look
probably
good.
in big trouble. Yeah, like they're going to investigate, and you're going to be in trouble, and then they're going to look into all the people you're associated with, right? Because like it's probably not usually the person placing some of these bets as well. They're involved in a group, or they're having someone else do it on their behalf, right? So the only time I went to that MGM, we went for March Madness one time, and I was playing in that poker, and my personality, I was so nervous. Like, I was just like, I'm not stepping 1 foot inside of that, on the other side of that wall, because I just didn't want to even, I didn't even want to mess with it.
Stranger with no vowels on YouTube writes in my opinion, if you play any sport professionally, then the only bets you should make on any sport are pride bets, no money. And I would add to that collegiately as well. Like, if you play any sport professionally or collegiately, you shouldn't be betting on anything.
Yeah.
Like,
again,
I like
playing sports professionally. To get paid to play a sport is a privilege. It is not a right. It is not something that like everyone has the right to just because you're athletic. Like, it is like, if you play sports, you get paid. You are upholding the integrity of your team, of yourself, of whatever league you play for. And like that contract, you sign a contract and it says you will not do that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do that, there should be a harsh punishment, because you are agreeing to be like, to have the integrity and withhold the integrity of that sport. So I totally agree. I mean, like, why bet on something and put yourself at risk there? Like, do the jersey stuff, like, right? Like, that's fun. Like, where you're like, you bet on your college teams, and whoever loses has to wear the other team's jersey.
Right, that's fun.
That stuff is good. Yeah, good, clean fun.
Yeah. Tommy, are we smarter or dumber for everything we just said?
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
And that was another edition of
Business ethics.
Or lack thereof.
Yes, he's Tommy Wirtz. He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. We will wrap things up here when we come back. Mason's Extra Points into the weekend right here on the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers.
There goes my hero. You like that?
What's on Mason Crosby's mind today?
Now I'm thinking.
It's time for Extra Points, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis.
Tell me what's on your mind.
On the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Well, thanks to everybody for joining the Mason Crosby Show all week. Great show today. Great week, fellas. Good to have Mitch back here at the end of the week. We missed you. Tommy, you're going to be with us next week, even if you're doing other shows. Right?
I have, yes.
So
said, basically.
Right. Tommy came in and planted his flag and was like, you can do whatever you want with me. I'll do whatever you need me to do.
I live here now.
But I am on the Mason Crosby Show. That's it. That's the list.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I do my best to never miss Mason Crosby shows because when I was hired, I was told
that's
Mason
the show
Crosby show.
Yeah.
So,
I should have done the show Wednesday.
Well, and I mean, everyone just we're always moving here. You guys are both busy. Mason's off once a week and stuff. Can we have one consistency of the same producer is here, right? So Andy Herman was on Wednesday. And he popped in and it was Sparky hosting the show.
Yeah.
And he was like, I feel like you guys just do a huddle and then you guys are making a game plan every time because it feels like he's talking to someone different every time on Wednesdays because of how crazy things get. I know he's talked with Mason and Mitch. He's talked with me and Mason. He's talked with me and Mitch. He's talked with Sparky and me. The constant is me. I will be here.
Whoa.
Yes.
Thank you for being our constant.
Is me.
Our consolation prize.
You're like a math problem.
Okay. All right.
Hey,
cool.
Tommy, I really appreciate you, and I think that you are just amazing.
Oh, wow.
I love it.
How does that make you feel for the weekend?
I feel good.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good. I'm
Take
feeling
that
great.
into your day off.
Yeah.
Smoke.
I know.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be on Monday through Wednesday next week.
Yes.
So I'll get to talk to Andy Herman, which is fun.
Yeah, that is fun.
Yeah, and then
what do you got going on this weekend, man?
We got basketball practice tomorrow morning for my 8-year-old Christine.
Nice.
So she's fired
Look,
up.
Look at what Mommy Tommy just wrote on YouTube.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
Man, call your mom.
Call your
Tommy.
mom, dude.
Dude, this
Wow,
is
do you not talk to your mother?
hey, Julie.
Yeah.
Tommy loves you.
Yes.
He will call. You know what, Tommy?
He'll call you.
Yeah, call her right now.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Wednesday. Twice Wednesday.
You're a good son.
Tuesday. Monday. I mean, that's terrible look for her. Terrible look for her.
Yeah. She didn't know you had the day off tomorrow. Now
she knows.
now you're locked in.
Now you got a bunch of projects.
You did that. You did that.
Oh, what's that? Sparky's calling me. What's that?
Yeah, busy week. Busy weekend. I think we're gonna do family photos on Sunday. Yeah, excited to watch ball. I am excited.
You gonna shave for that?
Yeah, I'll clean up.
Okay.
I'll look nice. Yeah, I'll look fresh. Yeah, Nolan is going over to Memphis for the varsity football game tonight.
Nice.
Yeah, so they're playing over there.
Whitefish Bay's playing Reedsburg at Madison La Follette tonight.
What round is that?
That is winner goes to state.
I've been bad. Last year, I felt like I was trying to report on the Wisconsin high school scene.
Yeah.
We need to get back. Yeah, I gotta dive back.
You want me to get Travis Wilson next week? Get the
talk from high school. Yeah,
former Wiz Sports guy.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'll do that for.
Yeah, they've rebranded this year.
See how it's going.
Yeah, it's Bound now. They're called Bound,
which is weird because there are actually 4 organizations all in Wisconsin that are fighting for the prep reporting and stats and all that. We had that was part of our parents meeting with the girls basketball.
Tuesday or Wednesday, we'll talk some high school ball.
Mace, tonight the Cup is in Milwaukee. The Bucks taking on the Hornets, looking for a little revenge. Giannis is expected to play. And then no LeBron, but Bronny and Luka in Milwaukee tomorrow night. That's going to be a blast as well. Bucks back-to-back home games tonight and tomorrow night.
What would a prop bet be if for Bronny?
Over under half a point.
Half a point.
I feel like is it the same as Thanasis, right?
Yeah. Can they just play them like they need to be
they should
on
do
the
jump
court
ball
at the same time?
They should do the jump ball.
Yeah,
it should be Bronny versus Thanasis for jump ball.
That would be
amazing. Then whatever team wins, a courtesy timeout, sub them out. I just want to see jump ball.
Yeah. We talked about those Patriots uniforms. Like the Cup games are usually pretty interesting, right? Like what color is the court? What are they rocking tonight?
And they play all 48 minutes.
Yeah, they play.
Yeah.
Well, it's the most important game of the year.
Right.
It's the most important game of the year.
That's true. All right, Mace, have a great weekend. Good luck with practice tomorrow morning.
Y'all too. Enjoy it. Yeah, great week. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Let's go Packers, huh? Can the Packers get a win, please?
Yes, they're going to get it done this week.
All right, noon on Sunday. The world stops. We are just watching that game. He's Mason Crosby. He's Tommy Orts. I'm Mitch Nelson, a.k.a. Thunder. We are the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon.
Yes, sir.
I was such a sucker.